Soon after the March 11th earthquake and tsunami struck northeastern Japan, about 70,000 foreigners studying in the country left. For most, it was a difficult decision, but they had no choice but to obey their families and governments and to evacuate. Now, nearly 4 months after the disaster, most of the students have returned, but they've come back with questions about the disaster, the rebuilding efforts, and the future of Japan. To help give them a better understanding about what's going on, a seminar was recently held in Tokyo. NHK World's Miho Fukunaga was there and has this report.
The 3-day seminar on the March 11th disaster was held at the University of Tokyo. All 9 professors who participated have visited the disaster-stricken areas. The 180 participants heard how the country's rail system and architecture survived the quake largely unscathed.
It's quite good for me to be here, that then when I go back, maybe I can share with this experience with my friends and colleagues.
Lee Jun comes from South Korea. He's one of the organizers of the seminar. He was among the students who returned to his country after March 11th, but he did not stay away too long. After a few weeks, he came back because he felt he had a responsibility to his friends and colleagues. Also, as a civil engineering student, he is curious and eager to see what's going on in the devastated areas.
My major is the evacuation system as a transportation. So I want to know how people can evacuate in the real situation.
Among all the issues surrounding the triple crisis, the biggest concern for the foreign students here is the accident at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. This group of students conducting a survey among fellow students on whether they agree or not with nuclear power. The results of the survey showed that the students are divided over the use of nuclear power. Those from emerging nations felt that the nuclear energy could provide their countries with an abundant and cheap form of energy, while students from developed countries thought more emphasis should be put on alternative energies. On the crisis at the nuclear power plant in Fukushima, many of the students thought Japan had not made proper use of its technology to stabilize the reactors.
For a long time, we want very much to use the Japanese product. But now, in these days, many the foreign countries do not want to import some products from the Japan. So I think we have to. It is connected with the name, the brand.
Global mistrust, maybe, of technology, especially because of the problem of the nuclear power plant. It wasn't really the technology that failed, but maybe in the eyes of the opinion, maybe the brand image of Japan or the image of technology was damaged.
The participants also discussed how some governments around the world have drawn up policies on disaster preparedness.
Japanese government should first launch some blueprint, because in such an earthquake we have this blueprint just after 3 weeks.